Hello, welcome. Take the Reactor Summit, where we tried to start 19 minutes ago, and that didn't happen. But here we are at 8:19, starting at the top of the hour. Yep. But we got a lot to talk about. We got 3 great matches from last week to go over, and we have a great panel to talk about those matches. We've got Malcolm Lay, of course, as always, the man of every video. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. It's really exciting. And I don't know if the interview's gone live, but I got to interview JTE this week, so you'll see that at some stage.
Yeah, hopefully it goes up soon because I'm excited to see that interview. We also have joining us Doug Cassell. How do you say your last name? I don't think I've ever even asked. Castle. See, I was right. I've never actually asked. This is, you're a good host when someone's been on your show for months. Months.
I'll be just be glad it's not someone with the last name Kolowowski, because it's really hard to pronounce.
Kolowowski.
Also,
I got it down.
I'm not calling you Paul, so I feel like I'm making steps in the right direction here.
You got it. You're moving forward.
Yes, we're moving in the correct direction. How are you doing today, Doug?
I'm living, so there's that. I'm feeling good. A little bit of stress off my chest, so I'm excited to talk about these matches.
Yeah, me too. And we missed last week's. Unfortunately, my demon child was sick. And she almost was a demon child again tonight, but I'm going to do it anyway. We got, unfortunately, we didn't get to talk about last week's matches. They were all really interesting in that they were all like complete blowouts. Doesn't happen very often, but it did. This week was a little more interesting in terms of gameplay. Everything was, a little closer in terms of games. So let's get going with the first match, which was the family versus the Wildberries. This was a really interesting match. I didn't quite expect the amount of levity that this match had. I kind of assumed that it was going to be more of a heel kind of thing going on with Andrew Guy, and it was just a lot of fun. Like the vibe between Guy and Makuga was kind of like the best thing. So
listen, I would love to see a Guy and Makuga team up at one point in a faction. That would be great.
Yeah, I'm not against it. And actually, we still are waiting for whoever the 10th manager is going to be announced. I wouldn't be mad if Makuga was the 10th manager and he got Andrew Guy into his faction and then they could just like bro all the time. Because it was some of the best energy in a match we've had in a long time. It was just, you could tell they were having fun. You could tell that Andrew was really just kind of vibing with Makuga's energy. There was a lot of like fun back and forth between the two of them. And then on the other side of the table, you've got like Drew McWeeny and Elliot Dewberry. And there was some weird dynamic going on there too, because I thought they were having a lot of fun. Drew seemed the most laid back I think I've ever seen him in a match. And maybe it was because they were going up against the Wildberries, but it wasn't that close. Let's put that out there. It was not that close. So they didn't steamroll over the Wildberries in any respect. It actually was a higher scoring match for the losing team than a lot of, some of what we saw last week. So in that regard, it's a pretty good match, especially for the Wildberries. I thought they did particularly well, other than, like the third round. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? So let's get everyone's thoughts on this. Malcolm, why don't you start us out? What do you think about this match between the family and the Wildberries?
This was a really strange match, and just the dynamics between Andrew Guy just being really excited to play against the Wildberries, and I mean, and we're probably going to talk about this later, but I'm going to talk about a lot of speak lane. The cutscene at the beginning was great. It's like just Drew and Andrew just getting really excited about playing the Wobbies. Rob and my Brunette just looking at them disapproving. He's like, dude, focus on the match. It's like, but it was just a lot of
Wildberries.
But yeah, I mean, the Wobbies surprised me in this. I can't remember what they got in the second round, but to almost take out the family, which includes Drew McReady, is like, it's not something I thought I'd see. I thought it was going to be another blowout match like what the other ones were, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I thought that given the whole like point of this match was Robert Meyer Burnett like flexing his powers, right? He was like, I'm going to give you guys the easiest match. You're going up against the Wildberries. It'll be a slaughter. This was a really even match. I mean, Andrew Guy's first round, he was really, really impressive. And I think he said it in the match, like, we should film all of our matches in the morning because he was on point. And I agree with him. Like, I thought he was, like, maybe not calm because he was just joking with Makuga the entire time. But he seemed like he was focused, like he was in the right headspace to answer these questions. And then you get into round 2 where the Wildberries, you know, they do a pretty decent job in their round 2, but Drew, being Drew, no matter if it's him spinning or his partner spinning, is the luckiest guy in the Schmoedown and spins spinner's choice. What are you going to do when Drew McWeeny gets 80s? You're just like, you admit defeat and then you're just, it's all over. No, it wasn't all over. And they, you know, the Wildberries tried their hardest in round 3. You know, it is what it is. Doug, why don't you let us know what you thought about this one?
This match was great. Like, all right, what you guys said is perfect, but I already said it. I want a faction with Makuga and Andrew Guy because their chemistry is ridiculous. Them together would be great. Also, if anybody splits up the Wildberries, I'm gonna hunt you down and find you. Because next to Shazam, they're my favorite team, regardless of what they do in the league. They are so character based. They're perfect. They're perfect just the way they are, and don't mess with it, please. But Guga found his partner, and it is Dewberry, and they are great together, and they killed the 2010s. Like, They did really good in the 2010s. And then they got, I think it was 2 decades questions back-to-back in the third round, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
I think they could be 80s and 70s or something like that.
Yeah, their round 3 stuff was not definitely not their strengths, for sure.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they definitely. There's some harder round 3 questions that happened last week.
Yes,
but yeah, I felt bad. They just were not. They did not get lucky with their round 3. The only other thing I want to mention, besides the fact that, you know, we got to shout out our beardiest reactor friend, Jeremy Hastings, for, you know, being a great patron supporter for like basically the entirety of the Patreon's existence. But we had Brandon Hanna walking out with the family at the beginning of the episode, kind of cementing that he's in the family and not in the Horsemen. You know, it's a move. I'm not sure why you would make such a move when there's going to be a draft, but maybe he's trying to, like up his desirability, you know, get his name out there a little more, try and like schmooze up to some of these guys. It's not a bad tactic if you're really trying to get yourself out there to get that draft pick. But yeah, it's a weird move for like the last month of the Schmoedown season to just be like, yes, I am with the family now. I have no matches for the rest of the season, but I am here.
I am here.
Yeah, it's interesting. But we'll see what happens with Brandon moving into the family. Will he be invited to Thanksgiving dinner?
Or will he be packing his bags to move into a different family?
Yeah, it's quite possible. Will he be like having Christmas brunch with the family, or will he be with some other guy or girl? in their faction. We'll see. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Little tidbit. I liked the interview afterwards where it was just like, so like you're with the family now, huh? And he's like, yes, I am. Yep. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I love this match. I thought it was great. The energy was amazing. And it was just all around. I don't care that it was a KO. It was just a great match. I was smiling like the entire time. It was just a lot of fun. So we're going to move on and talk about the next match, which was Shazam and the Movie Guys, because they have an exclamation point in their name. So you have to like yell it when you say it. So of course, Shazam, our favorite Bibiani and our favorite cinnamon roll, Brendan Meyer, and the Movie Guys, who honestly are such an underrated team. Like they have a bad record, and it's crazy because these guys are really good. They happen to, whenever they lose, go up to teams or go after teams, and the match is better than almost any other match that has been played. The end score was 32-30. That's the losing score was higher than most of the winning scores of round one of the tournament. It's just kind of insane that this match happened in round one. Like, it would have been cool to like mix things up a little bit, maybe give the Movie Guys a bit of a chance, but there's no stopping Bibiani when he's standing, and this whole season he's taking a stand, and
boo, Matt.
He's going for that belt in both teams and singles, and I think he's got a good shot. Let's talk about this. I know Doug loves Shazam. He loves our cinnamon roll. our little sweet boy Brendan Meyer. He is like the purest Schmoedown competitor that has ever lived.
I love that opening. It's not their best opening, but I really love that opening.
Yeah, it was real cute. I did too. I'm like, it's creative as always with the Bibiani opening, but it's not like the best one they've done. But it was absolutely adorable, so I'm not gonna be mad at it.
Hey,
but what were your thoughts besides the opening? What were your thoughts about the match itself? Because there was a lot of good stuff in this match.
My heart nearly dropped 40 times during this match because I was like, please no, this is too close to come for comfort. I really liked this entire match. It shows you that not only the competitive strength between both teams, it just shows you what they're bound to do next year. Next year, it's going to be ridiculous. Listen, Matt. Listen, Matthew Kearns. I don't know how to handle that. I'm just going to continue with my thoughts on the match. So my thoughts are, my thoughts are that they both just showed up this game. Shazam always shows up. And it's kind of funny watching them their score just keeps increasing. It shows you that their chemistry keeps increasing. Do I think anybody's going to take them down? No, because of what keeps increasing their scores and their chemistry. But the Movie Guys did some incredible work. Paul Preston, I was glad to share your name when I first came into the Take 3 universe. But no, you, sir, are not underrated anymore. If people don't know who you are, they better start getting ready to, because I foresee a future champion. Like, I think Paul's that good. Under management, Paul will be phenomenal.
I mean, he needs to have the right path, because you saw when he showed up at Free For All, I was like, this guy needs to be in singles. Why isn't he in singles yet? And then he got in singles and he kind of dominated. And it was incredibly impressive, but he just didn't, he wasn't dominant. He wasn't dominant at the right time. If he had shown up a little bit earlier, he would have gotten a chance at the title. I'm absolutely positive. If he had showed up in the first half of the season, he would have got that chance at the title, because he's that good. But he showed up at such a weird time that there really wasn't a great opportunity for him to get to the title, because there was all these things working, and then he had to try and get into the tournament, and all that mess. just show up earlier. So next season, when he has an entire season to work with, who knows what this guy is going to do? Because I think he's great. I absolutely think that you're right. He is a huge title contender.
I think he is a title contender.
For sure.
Definitely next year, he's going to be someone that people are going to be afraid to play.
I don't disagree with you at all. Malcolm, what do you think about this match between Shazam and the movie guys?
Yeah, this match was insane. But I mean, I really love that the entrances. I think Bibbs is going to not making it easy for entrance of the year this year. That's for sure.
Well, because honestly, I think Drew DiMolanta kind of like got my vote for entrance of the year.
Hey! The Love Actually thing was funny.
But yeah, when Bibbs came in on his own, I was thinking like, this is weird. Either it's going to be an elaborate entrance, or it's going to be revealed that for some reason Brendan just couldn't be there for the rest of the year and had to replace it. Then all of a sudden they cut to the studio of Brendan just running through. It's like, oh yeah, they're doing they're doing a combined entrance with Shazam and Home Alone, 2 movies which I really want to see a crossover with. But,
yeah, all of a sudden now
interesting
I'm really
one.
into that idea.
That would be an interesting one.
But yeah, and with the match going 30-32 in a first round match. I mean, everyone's already said it was just crazy because. But yeah, if
oh no,
but if Shazam goes up against who's the but if Shazam goes up against who's the boss, then I think Shazam's winning. I think Shazam is stronger than who's the boss. Sorry, Matt.
Woof. What a take. What a take. You're really trying to get Matt mad. Shazam is going up against the Odd Couple. According to the brackets, Malcolm. So we get 2 Dougs. I'm going to leave old Doug in here.
It's like my Facebook profiles.
For symmetry, we have old Doug and new Doug as we do. Oh, damn.
Old Doug disappeared, just like my profile.
We get symmetry. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure Shazam's going up against Odd Couple. I think eventually they could get to Who's the Boss if they get through that match. Is that what you're thinking?
Isn't Shazam on the opposite side of the bracket? Yeah. Who's the boss? Yeah. So they can beat in the fight. They can beat in the final.
You mean the finals? Oh, you're predicting. Yeah, that. I'm not there yet. I'm still like stuck in round 2 predictions. You're way ahead of me.
Matt's just jealous he doesn't have bunny ears.
That's true. I mean, it is a well placed poster. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think Shazam, the way they're playing, the chemistry they've had since they've been growing as a team, they have everything in it to be in the final. And the other teams that you're seeing, you know, they're going up against the Odd Couple. To me, on that side of the bracket, that's their biggest opponent. And then on the other side, you have potentially Who's the Boss, which is a huge challenge for obvious reasons. You know, they almost had the belts themselves. It's in their path. Yeah, they have everything in it to win that belt. It's just whether or not they can harness Brendan's good energy.
Because harness the energy.
He doesn't have the best accuracy rating of anyone in the Schmoedown, and so you have to make sure that you can kind of get him focused on some of these movies, like the gaps he's got. But I think they're working on it. I think like he's been growing a little bit in some of the things that he's kind of missing out on, so that's good. And then Bibbs is a great complementary partner to him because Bibbs is into a lot of like the horror stuff and all that, and Brendan's into other things. So I think that they complement each other very well. I was shocked, absolutely shocked. And I'm sorry, Viviani, if you're watching. It's nothing against you. at all. I was shocked that you didn't get the Great Escape. I was absolutely floored. I could not believe it. That is how much I believe in your abilities, sir. But yeah, I was shocked. Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised that Brendan's had so many matches in the Schmoedown and hasn't got a question about a movie he's been in.
Yeah, I mean, even like Sam Levine, he's been in. He's had some. He announced a match where he did a question that he was in. So eventually, I think this is going to happen where Brendan will have to answer a question about a movie's, and imagine if he gets it wrong. How funny would that be? Doug is that's just not going to happen.
He was the Sam Levine best moment was when it was who was on the desk, and Sam comes running out and takes their whiteboards because they both missed the answer.
Wasn't it Roker and Bibbs or Roker and
I think it was
Dan?
Yeah, it was.
It was a title match. I know that much because I think it was the speed round or something.
Yeah, it was.
It was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, they didn't get Inglorious Bastards as the answer, which was hilarious. But yeah, I love this match. I thought it was fantastic. One of the best ones of the year, I think we could probably say. Probably not the best one of the year. There have been a lot of really great team matches this year. This has been a great season overall. So it's going to be really hard to make those end of the year lists. This season has been crazy. But yeah, I was just really impressed overall. Everyone in both teams had really great matches, and it went down to that very last 5-pointer, and it was, just as nail-biting, as suspenseful as any match could be. It was just a great match. I'm glad it was in the middle of the week because it was just. It's everything you want in a Schmoedown match, honestly. It was fun. The movie guys, we didn't talk about their great song in their pre-match video. That was great. From beginning to end, this thing was just a lot of fun. So I love this match. I'm probably going to rewatch it. That's how much I love it. And I don't usually rewatch matches anymore because I just don't have time. But I might rewatch this one because I really liked it. So we're moving on. Last match of the week. We got Loose Cannons versus Crimson Fury. My man, Tim Franco, the undefeated Tim Franco.
Let me just continue to stay undefeated. That was my line of the match. That
was my favorite. There was a lot of really great lines. There was my favorite one. I actually quoted it. Loose Cannons is what my grandma calls her boobs when they aren't in her bra. Stacey Howard, 2019. Best line. I died. It was so funny.
Can we talk about how Stacey Howard officially now is like round one kryptonite for everyone?
Yeah. And
for everyone.
She is honestly such a clutch player. She gets these weird things. The question she got right was just so out there. Like, it did not seem like something she would know. It did not seem like something a lot of people would know. And she knew it, like, right away. You could tell. As soon as the question was asked, she was like, oh, I know this. I was in awe. She is such a clutch player. Absolutely. Underrated. Amazing. Yeah. I can't wait. I hope that they, surprise everybody and annihilate Who's the Boss, Matthew. This is what you get for not being in the panel. This is what you get. If you were here, you could defend your boys, but you're not, so. Okay,
shots fired.
Malcolm, what do you think about Stacey's kind of tournament performance in general? Because she's been really impressive in pretty much every tournament she's been in so far.
Yeah, honestly, I would love to see what Stacey says if they take out Who's the Boss, because then she can say she's taken out Mark Riley in both tournaments.
Oh no! If that happens. Oh no!
Matt's having a heart attack in the comments. He's not very happy. He's like the only person commenting we should be nicer to Matt, but it is the summit.
But I'd say that this match was essentially this match was basically a match of who will lose first, Tim Franco and Paul Oyama, because both are currently undefeated before this match.
Yeah, there you go.
And this is officially Paul's first loss in the Schmoedown,
which is insane
in general movie. I'm pretty sure if I remember the fan league records, it's actually Paul's first loss ever.
Mm-hmm.
So that is just the fact that it came in a teams match was just one that. But I mean, this was a great match all around because I mean, as Tim said in the post-match interview, he felt that Stacey pretty much carried that team, and even though Tim came in at the end when it counted, it was pretty much Stacey carrying the team, and it's just one of those ones in which it was just shows how strong Stacey actually is. And yeah, one thing I will bring up, because there was a couple of family players that did bring this up. There were some people that were unhappy about what Tim said about the fan leagues, but it's one of those ones like
it's Kiva.
It is, and that's what a lot of people don't get, is that Tim really doesn't think that. It's it's his character. Yeah.
I mean, what do you want him to do? Be nice? Ridiculous. He's being exactly what he needs to be in the Schmoedown. I'm glad you brought that up, because that really irked me that someone went after Tim about that. It is literally his job to say things that piss people off right now because he's playing a heel. Just chill.
Yeah. And I mean, and the thing is, Christian wouldn't have brought him into the Schmoedown if Christian didn't think he could compete.
Oh yeah,
and that's the end all be all. I mean,
yeah, I 100% agree with you. Tim is great, and I absolutely love that he won this match. I mean, no offense to Loose Cannons, they're a great team. Zipper's great, Paul is great. They easily could have won this match. They easily could have won their next match. They easily could have won the tournament. That's how good I think they are. Zipper is kind of like a hidden gem. He just kind of needs to tighten up his play a little bit. You definitely saw that there were weaknesses in everyone except for Paul in this match. Round one, everyone kind of dropped the ball a couple times. Paul only did the once. And then round two was Festival Darlings is just the kiss of death, honestly. It's a miracle that they didn't lose the match because of Festival Darlings, because that is such a hard category to spin. And they played it really well. They only gave up, I think, 1 point. And they just worked their way through the answers. And that's really all you can do when you get to Festival Darlings, because it sucks. It's no one is good at that category. Even the people who like indie movies, they're not good at that category. But yeah, it was just a really interesting match, because you had a team kind of fight back from losing basically the entire match to win. And but that last question, we'll talk about that last question. Doug, why don't you give your thoughts on the match in general? Because it was an interesting one for me. Personally.
In general, again, Stacey Howard, Kryptonite first round. Literally, if you face her, I'm never picking you. I'm sorry. Because she officially broke brackets again, I think. No, this match was incredible. I just think it shows not much. I mean, it shows the ability that both teams have, and just how much a second round can really hurt you.
Well, absolutely.
I know that a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, I already knew that," but you have Paul Oyama, who pretty much went perfect, and then it just gets down to the last question, and it's that last question in the third round really hurt them. But I guess family films. Watch more family films.
Yeah.
Listen, Three Ninjas is my jam. Don't care. I was like, how do you not know who Tom Tom is? Or Rocky? Or Cole? Come on. And then I'll stay perfect. Best line in a match to end a match. Listen, I know I like the nice characters, but Tim Franco, man. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
To stay undefeated, I'll give the answer. That was so funny. Yeah.
If I'm taking a little jabs, I think somebody was upset that Paul Yama kind of talked crap behind the scenes in the New York match. And that's why Tim kind of took a shot at him. I think that might be a thing.
Yeah, I think that's all water under the bridge at this point, because that was something that kind of went around the page a little bit, where people were saying he was disrespectful, like the competitors were saying he was disrespectful. But he apologized, and as far as I know, all of that is resolved. I don't think there's any more lingering feelings or anything about Paul. I think that it's a little hard when you're kind of the new guy in town to separate the kayfabe and the outside of that for the Schmoedown, especially when you're coming in from like the fan leagues. You're coming in as the underdog of underdogs. I'm sure that had to play into it. So I think he handled the situation really well, personally. If there was anything going on behind the scenes, I think he did what he had to do. He apologized and moved on. I mean, that's, for me, a very good way to handle the situation. So I think Tim was just being Tim and digging at the fan leagues because he's a good heel. And he knew it was going to rile people up. People are really, really possessive of those fan leagues. They put a lot of work into them. They should be. But, man, they cannot take a joke. At all. Malcolm, can the fan league people take jokes about the fan leagues?
There's definitely a few people that can't.
Hopefully they don't watch us make jokes. No, the fan leagues are great. Please don't kill us. The fan leagues are great.
Doug Castle, you do not get a match for the next 3 years. Great.
No, I mean, I think he did his job, calling out the fan leagues like that. It's just part of his job. So chill out. It's
all right. I mean, I will make sure Doug will always get matches. I'll give myself matches. Helping running in the fan leagues.
There you go. He can have all my matches.
Sweet.
Because I don't play though, so I don't have any matches. That was a joke. But yeah, I thought this was just a really great match overall. This week, I thought the matches were a lot better than last week's. Not saying last week's were bad. I just think that this week they had a great mix of like really entertaining matches, and then you had the crazy high scoring competitive match, and then you had this match, which was a different kind of competitive. It was not as high scoring, but it was still very back and forth, still very kind of like underdog fighting back to the top kind of thing. So it was a great mix of matches. I loved every single match was completely different. So yeah, this is a great week. I have more Schmoedown like this. Another week of this.
Please.
Speaking of another week of this, we've got 3 matches again coming up this week. Loose Cannons, not Loose Cannons, Looney Bin versus Self-Righteous Brothers is supposed to drop today, but I didn't see it before we started recording.
I mean, I haven't seen a Patreon email saying.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I also didn't see it, so I'm not sure when it's going to drop. But that's supposed to go up, and then you've got Evil Geniuses versus the Paddington 2, which is super. It's going to be a great match. Honestly, I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, we get to finally figure out how Lon's new partner is going to be, and then we get the first match of round 2 with Odd Couple versus Shazam. Potentially, I'm pretty sure that's what the first match is going to be of round 2. So this next week's gonna be great. We're gonna do our predictions, and then we'll save the prediction for the round 2 stuff. We'll do a full round 2 prediction. But yeah, let's do Looney Bin versus Self-Righteous Brothers first. So out of those 2 teams, who do you think has the edge? Who do you think's moving on to round 2? We'll start with Malcolm. What do you got?
Yeah, this is tough because Looney Bin's first match, they were just great, and they, especially Tom. Like Tom was probably a strong word, but I mean, this is tough because on one side, I want to see Self-Righteous Brothers go further because I think that they are an underrated team, which a lot of people are automatically counting out. But I mean, Whitney's last performance in the singles wasn't that great, so I'm going to lean towards Looney Bin on this, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes the other way.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I had my thoughts. We'll go to Doug first, just in case my thoughts and his thoughts are aligned. I don't want to steal your thoughts. So
yeah, I thought I was gonna be the outside person with who I was going with. But no, I really do think Looney Bin's got this. I think Tom is probably better knowledge-wise and competitor than a lot of people give him credit for. Credit cards.
Well, he's only shown up once, so
he's only shown up once.
How much credit can you give him?
But if you've secretly found out his Twitter, you know that he knows some things.
Well, if you watched him at all on Cracked back in the day, you know that he knows many things.
Many things.
Many things.
Many things. So yeah, no, I think Looney Bin's got this. I've been wrong in the past, but I don't think I'm wrong right now.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that our thoughts are not the same, Doug, because it makes life a little more interesting when we have different opinions. No, I actually think that Self-Righteous Brothers has got this one. It's if you remember their match during the tournament last year, it was like the highest scoring match of the entire tournament, pretty much, except for the final. It was literally. They could have easily won any other match that was played in the tournament, but they happened to lose because the team they faced, they just got outscored, but they scored over 30 points. It was ridiculous. These guys know what they're about. I think that they haven't gotten the chance to show like their full potential because they haven't won a match yet. I think that once they can get through this match, the next match we should see the full evils of the Self-Righteous Brothers. I think that's I'm really looking forward to it. My thing is, I think that they've got a lot that they can do with intros and stuff. I'm really excited to see, so I would like for them to move forward in the tournament because I think they're interesting, and I like Whitney, and I think he's great. And Mark Hoik is also great. And I will never forget his name again after the last time. We had an interview with him on our channel in the same episode where I literally didn't know what his name was. And then he tweeted me. It was great. Good times. No, but I have faith. I think that Self-Righteous Brothers has this. I love Looney Bin, though. I hope that they can come back. Like, even if their team gets broken up, with this whole draft situation, I hope both of them get to come back and join another team or do whatever, because I think they're both great. And I'd love to see Tom in singles. Come on, get him in singles. I think he would like own the entire thing. He'd be the new Tim Franco, undefeated since 2007.
Undefeated after one match.
Tim Franco was undefeated for like 2 years. It's a good record.
I guess.
I will die on that hill. He was undefeated. Yeah, so next match is Evil Geniuses versus the Paddington 2. I think this one's a little bit tougher for me to predict. We'll start with Doug. What do you think for this match? There's wild card in it, given that we don't know how Lon's partner is going to perform.
That's the thing. It's a complete wild card. Lon's great. Does he know how to pick partners? I would say so. He showed up with his brother last year and almost went all the way. I don't know how much chemistry Paddington 2 has. We saw them do, one match last year, right? One match?
Two?
I think that they've had at least two.
The Paddington 2?
Paddington 2? It's a great movie. Not really.
How dare you? No marmalade for you.
I like the first one.
How dare
I like the first one. But no, I honestly don't know how to go with this because we don't know what the chemistry that the evil geniuses are going to bring. And it's going to. This is my complete. I'm going to throw a dart at a dartboard and hope it sticks. I think. No, I'm not canceled. You're canceled. Get out of here. No, I'm just playing.
Who's cancel-assing you? What?
How dare you, Doug? I get so much hate now. Damn, I was a nice guy. No, but I think I'm gonna just take a shot in the dark and say the evil geniuses, just because I think Lon knows how to pick a partner. Hopefully his partner is good.
For sure. I mean, from what people have said who know who he is, I think that he is. I mean, people say he's fairly knowledgeable. So there have been other people who've come in and supposedly been fairly knowledgeable and then crapped the bed, double jeopardy. We'll see. Malcolm, what do you think about this match, Evil Geniuses versus the Paddington 2?
Yeah, this is tough. But just for the fact we don't know much about Lon's new partner. I wanted to say his name is Simon.
I think so.
I mean, his name is Simon unless they tell us otherwise. But yeah, but I've got the Paddington 2 on this. I think Matt and Alonso are great, and I mean, and I think when they are on point, they're good. When they start sort of drifting away into craziness territory, then they tend to lose focus. But I'm just going to go off them, but because we don't know much about Lon's partner and Tony, I think that they didn't bring the Harris brothers back as a team because I think John maybe just wants to stay to managing. So,
yeah, I think that the thing with John is that he actually really enjoys the Schmoedown. Like, he's a fan of the Schmoedown, so he wants to be involved. But I don't know that trivia was what he wanted to really be involved with. Like, I think he's good at trivia, but it's like that. Alfred says, "Know your limits." You gotta do what you gotta do. But I love that he's gonna be a manager. I think he brings a fun energy to it, especially with like his brother kind of like beating him up, basically. It's just funny. I think that it's a funny dynamic. Who I have in this match, I'm gonna give the edge to Evil Geniuses. I think Lon is a great competitor, and I think that his teammate will be able to withstand the challenge. The reason I'm giving it to Evil Geniuses is the Paddington 2. Matt Atchity has been hit or miss in every one of his teams. He can either be one of the best in the entire league, or he can really just kind of like fall apart. And that's not on him. It's just he doesn't like invest all the time into this league that all these other people are doing. But yeah, if they get holiday movies, I guess it's all over. Malcolm, you had your hand up like a schoolboy.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I didn't want to interrupt your thoughts. I'm a nice guy, unlike Matt, but what I was about to say is, this could be the last time I actually see John, because I don't think he was on that list of confirmed managers for next season, and unless he's that mystery 10th manager.
It would be a weird spot for a mystery 10th manager, but you're right. He hasn't been on the list yet. That is actually really sad, because I absolutely enjoy that he's such a fan of the Schmoedown, and he kind of brings that into managing.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense now. That whole post-credit scene, do we have to keep him?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
there might be more that will happen in this match. There might be another post-credit scene which gets him out that way. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on anymore. It makes me sad. Maybe he just can't do it next season or something.
Yeah.
That would be sad, because I really like Lon and John and Don and the other one, Thon. I don't know. It was a bad joke when Schmoedown did it. It's a bad joke now. So yeah, I just think Evil Geniuses has got it. I think Paddington 2 can be a little too uneven in their gameplay. And I have faith. I have faith in the new guy. He's gonna pull through. He's gonna be as evil and geniusy as it ever was. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So we're gonna predict round 2 real quick. I know. Well, I guess we can talk about. We missed a couple things. I realized in my notes we didn't talk about the cutscene with Polyama and the dungeon. There wasn't really much to talk about there, other than I think it was filmed before the Inner Geekdom match was filmed. And then I do want to talk about the cutscene for the second match, which was Kevin and Kaiser like trying to hunt down Kalinowski at Universal Studios, I'm pretty sure. And this has been an ongoing like video series on Kaiser's Twitter and the Facebook page. It is absolutely hilarious. I love that they put it in one of the Schmoedown videos. These are really funny. Everything Kaiser does related to the Schmoedown, I think he's got it. Like he understands like what he needs to do and like how to do it and like how to be an effective manager, but also an entertainer.
Yeah.
I think he's got it. I think absolutely. This is one of the reasons I'm pushing for Kaiser for Manager of the Year, is because of stuff like this. Like I'm absolutely sure that this was his and Kevin's idea to do this. I don't think they were put up by the Schmoedown to do it. I think they just went and did it, and it was like the Schmoedown was like, "Hey, can we put this as a pre-credit scene, before the match plays?" And they were like, "Yeah, go ahead." It's just hilarious. I love it. What do you guys think about these videos? Because there's a bunch of them, and they're fantastic. So
yeah, I'm loving the Kaiser and Smith's hunt for counters here. We're probably going to see the other two maybe pop up because I think it's a case of they realise that with them doing it on Facebook, they get really lost so easily that unless you're really looking for them, you're going to get lost. So they probably decided to go to Carlos. It's like, look, can you put this in the front of the Schmoedown so people can actually see them and how good they are. So we're probably going to see the other the train conductor one, which is probably my favourite one. And then the Hogwarts Castle one later as well. And the Poryama one, it was a good cut scene. It was just one of those ones of which, once again, didn't really go anywhere. It was just one there's like a cut scene because of the match and all that. And this is one of those ones which with these matches, because a lot of these matches were clearly filmed ages ago because there's a lot of talk about the Wild Boost one, about the record being wrong. But as I said, it's like, well, it was filmed before that. They probably filmed the match, even though the post match had that Wild Boost latest party match there included that.
Yeah.
They probably just edited in because it was there. But that and the a couple of matches had references to the fact that team title was for the the team tournament was all the titles, which, as it turned out, was not going to be the case anymore. But that aside, those small things did not make any impact on those matches.
No, I mean they really didn't, and it's kind of, it is what it is when you have to film things so far in advance. Stuff like that happens.
Also, can we get more Brienne on the desk?
Oh shoot, we forgot to talk about Brienne. It's in my notes in all caps. Brienne, all hail the queen. I miss her in the Schmoedown so much. She is like, she's just so great in the Schmoedown. She has the best energy. She's so witty. She's so like, especially like on the desk. She had so many comebacks. She was so on it. She was like snappy and fantastic, and I adored it.
And I mean, I actually love the fact like Mark, I'm going to read the rules for.
Yeah, he was just like, you did it better than me. Go ahead. I thought it was great. I loved it. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing it up. I cannot believe, in all caps on my notes.
Yeah,
I cannot believe I didn't say.
I mean, the other one is, even though the match was a couple of weeks ago, but Clark Wolf on the desk was great.
Yeah, when we've had Clark on the desk a couple times recently. We've had Rachel. I think we'll be seeing more of all of them kind of at the desk as announcers.
I think Rachel might be more for in the geekdom because Mark can't pronounce the words for it.
Yeah, he can't like actually like say if something's right or wrong.
It's officially what happens after you retire from the Schmoedown. You become a commentator. It's like sports. It's like sports, guys. It's how real life sports working. When you retire, you either just retire or you go and become a sports broadcaster. Hey, it works out.
Hey, it definitely works for some people. So what? Oh, you haven't said what your thoughts on these Kaiser Kevin videos are, Doug. So why don't you let us know?
I love them. I love them together. They are literally my favorite. Like, they literally are my favorite people to watch. Just because them together, you're going to get something great. The Hogwarts Castle was my favorite thing because like it was just like, you got it wrong, go in there, ride the ride 50 times till you get it, tell them you got the Kaiser pass, you'll just keep going. I was like, yes, that's like what I want. I want the Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own type of manager, and I think Kaiser gives that man, like, he's very heart-filled. He wants the team to win, but he's got that hard side, and it works. It's so great, and that's why I think he's going to be manager of the year. I just think he's like literally so involved in the Schmoedown, just from a manager's aspect. That's what a manager is. Like, it's literally that. Like, he may be joking. This might be, joking around, but it's like he's literally getting your head off of the match that you're on and focus on the next one.
Yeah.
I mean, the Wildberries, video was my favorite video. The whole thing was great. From them entering, the other ones were kind of like, for me, throwaways. Unless it's like pertaining to the story and like pushes the story forward.
Yeah.
I'm not not that I'm not interested, but it doesn't stick with me as well. The Wildberries one stuck with me because it was funny. It was definitely Wildberries. And it just shows you that Drew Guy is a fan of the Wildberries. Wildberries.
Who is
I don't know. Robert Meyer Burnett. Robert Meyer Burnett is not a fan. Yeah, right? No. Listen, we need to ban Robert Meyer Burnett right now. Do not. Here's your warning, good sir. No, but the Wildberries, and I think the Kaiser stuff is like, the Kaiser and Smasher stuff is like perfect.
100%.
I think that stuff adds to the story. It builds the characters, and it's great.
I 100% agree. I think this is some of the best stuff we've had in the Schmoedown this year. This Kaiser and Kevin stuff, I think it's hilarious. It further cements me saying that Kaiser's going to be manager of the year. He just gets it. He gets it. So we're going to do real quick predictions for round 2, because round 2 starts on Friday. So we've got matches we know of: Odd Couple and Shazam. We've got Who's the Boss and Crimson Fury, and the other two matches are up in the air still. Either Time Machine or the Looney Bin, or Time Machine versus the Looney Bin or Self-Righteous Brothers, and then the Family versus Paddington 2 or Evil Geniuses. So real quick, who's winning between Odd Couple and Shazam?
You know who I'm going to say. You already know who I'm going to say. It's Shazam.
Shazam.
I you know what? I have constantly voted against Jeff Snyder, and I'm not going to change it now. It's going to be Shazam. I thought real hard. I think that Mark and Jeff are a great team. I think they're great competitors. They could easily win this, but I kind of really want Bibbs to go for the belt. So
if they lose, they're no longer top 5. They're no longer safe.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
They're no longer safe.
That's how competitive the team league is this year.
It's going to be so... Yeah. Oh, man. I'm just excited to see what happens to the draft if this happens.
Yeah, this draft is going to be bonkers. So the next match, we'll do Who's the Boss versus Crimson Fury because we know who they're going to be.
Malcolm. Shazam.
He said Shazam. He said Shazam.
Oh, did you?
We all put
at the
okay. Same time.
I thought you were just saying it to join in.
No. Who's the Boss versus Crimson Fury? Who's winning?
Well, I mean, Who's the Boss is a very outdated TV show. So I think Crimson Fury's the new kids on the block. They'll come and take over.
Fair.
That's fair. Doug, who do you got?
I just want to see Matt's comments. I'm saying Crimson Fury.
for Matt. I have Who's the Boss. I think that they're literally like one of the more dominant teams. It's going to be really hard to beat them, even for a clutch player like Stacy.
Yeah.
Undefeated
my real pick is Who's the Boss. I just wanted to bust Matt Stones.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is the same. I like Who's the Boss.
Yeah,
and you can tell that Ben and Mark and Studley, they do want this. So I mean,
Ben is incredibly focused on winning this season. So that's kind of my reasoning for picking them. Is that Ben, like, everything he wants right now is those belts. So
yeah,
he's got.
I mean, the other thing is, it all depends on what state Ben was when they recorded this match too.
True. This is true.
Because if it was pre surgery, then it could be a different story.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. He made it to the finals. Yeah,
I don't. Play in one of those matches. So yeah, it did.
Well, that's what I mean. It depends on sort of when they formed it and when he started having really big issues with his back. So
yeah, this is true. All this stuff definitely comes into play. Time Machine versus either the Looney Bin or Self-Righteous Brothers. You have to pick which one of them is going to win. Obviously, we already kind of did that. So Self-Righteous Brothers versus Time Machine for me. I give the edge to Time Machine. What about you guys? Malcolm, you had Looney Bin.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I had Looney Bin moving on, but I've got Time Machine. Ethan is just unstoppable. I'm pretty sure he's made from the same cyborg cloth as what Paul Oyama is. So, yeah.
Our dear friend, Cyborg Paul Oyama. What about you, Doug? You also had Looney Bin moving on.
Yeah. I like you, Looney Bin, but I think Janine and Ethan are kind of just something that's not a lot of people seeing coming.
Yeah. Oh, I've got an interesting story. What if Janine's the one making the cyborg Poyama, Ifanu, and all the Schmoedown cyborgs? I mean, her name is literally Janine the Machine.
Yeah, she's wow. What a good one. That is a tinfoil hat. Janine is like creating Schmoedown cyborgs. I think that's a fantastic idea. Especially since she got one to be her partner. Like what a well planned plot she made. Last one, the family versus either Paddington 2 or Evil Geniuses. I have Evil Geniuses moving into round 2 versus the family. I'll go with the family. There's a safer bet. I was gonna be like daring and go evil geniuses, but no, I think I'll go with Drew McWeeny. What about you guys, Doug? You got Paddington 2 on this one, I believe.
No, I got evil geniuses.
Oh, you had evil geniuses as well? Okay.
I'm gonna go daring. I'm gonna say this is gonna be like the big upset of the tournament. I think just because I think they went into it laid back. If they go into it the same way, not thinking that they're going to have any problems, they might have some serious problems.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think that, this could be a big shock, this match, for a lot of people. What about you, Malcolm? You had Paddington 2.
Yes.
I remember one thing. Great.
And I've probably got and I've got Paddington 2 over the family. I think Drew McGreeny is solid. I think what Alonso and Matt have to work will probably try and do is try and at least get more points than Andrew Guy, because as much as I like Andrew, he's probably he's definitely the weaker player of the family, and sometimes he has good days. Sometimes he has good days. Sometimes he doesn't. So
don't let the Action Army hear you say stuff like that. We will die. They'll kill us.
Listen, we're being civil with them. Let's not.
We literally we somehow formed a ceasefire.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the call to action people know that I'm on Team Bateman and not Team Guy. I think I think they're fine as long as I'm on one of those sides. Okay. But I mean, there's even in call to action, like they're really split of who's on Team Bateman, who's Team Guy. So,
well, I mean, if you have to choose one of them is in the Horseman with Roca. So I also am Team Bateman.
One is significantly moved up in stock because of his video that he did with the wild berries.
Oh man, all of our bases for who we like is based on the wild berries. Like, did they have a video at the wild berries?
So if John Roker does a cool video of the lobbies, he'll go up in your stop, Doug.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. John's great. Everyone should be a fan of John. That's actually all we got, because that was all of round 2, which starts on Friday. We got all 3 matches. We got through this thing in almost an hour. We did it, guys. We did it. I'm so excited. Look at us. Timely, other than starting 19 minutes late. So let's do our plugs real quick. Malcolm, why don't you start us off, because you, I think, have the most plugs. We could do a contest. Who can get the most plugs in one episode of the summit?
You can find me on Take 3 Productions hosting Rankin Movie Sunday. This week is going to be Tom Hanks movies. So T Hanks for making that the top topic. So you can find me on Formula Random hosting it. Not long ago, we just did a A24 match, so that's up there now. Next week is going to be X-Men. You can find me competing all over the fan leagues, and also watch me on Transvail on Fridays. We're back after a week's break, so yeah.
All right, Doug, he stole one of your plugs.
He stole the only plug I have right now, and that's Transvail. Check it out. Fridays, they're actually going to be uploaded at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so people don't have to feel exhausted when they hear it. Also, go over to patreon.com/Adventures Transvail. Go look up the Adventures of Transvail on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you can find podcasts. If you don't feel like watching us, you can listen to us. And I'm editing things so it makes things a lot more smoother, so you don't hear a bunch of yes. Can you tell me what you guys are doing? Roll, please. What did you get?
Sounds good to me. You can find me and my whining dog boy, Ash. Here he is. Here you can see his snoot. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Stardust at Smith_K10, the number, not the word. I don't post anything on Stardust. You can do it anyway. It's fine. It's all good. You can also find me hosting this show. You spent an hour watching. As always, if you don't know what you just watched, get some help. But that's all I really do. Every once in a while, I'll be on something else, but I can't commit to much else. This is all I got. My brain cannot handle more. Thanks for watching, guys. We had a great time. I loved Schmoedown. This has been a great season. I cannot believe we are less than a month
Also,
away.
go see Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, go see Jojo Rabbit. Yeah.
And Ford versus Ferrari, because I saw that today and it was good.
Go watch any movie, really. But we're less than a month away from the end of the season of the Schmoedown. It's a little crazy. This has been a great season, a groundbreaking season. I think next year we got a lot to look forward to. So I cannot wait. The next couple weeks are just going to be fantastic. With that, we hope you guys all have a good week. Enjoy those Schmoedown matches, and we will see you all next week.